Okay, so this used to be one of my all-time favorite movies whenever I was younger and growing up. This movie was seriously a classic for my family. Pretty much all Mel Brooks films were. Like, I can probably quote every line from Robin Hood Men in Tights. I just remember it being the funniest thing to me, like, oh, they have to jam the radars? Then they literally throw a thing of jam on it. Like, I thought it was brilliant at the time. But you know, times have changed. Parodies they're getting smarter. Like, they're still making fun of things in like a silly way, but it's getting really clever and less, are you from Hawaii? Well, aloha! Comedy's just evolved since this was filmed, so you might not appreciate it. Back in its day, when it was in its prime, it was the best movie I had ever seen. Kinda. But coming back on it now, it's weird because I was really excited for it at first. But then I got about 20 minutes in and started to get a little bit bored. And then I hit an hour and then started to tune out a little bit. Started doing some reading while watching at the same time. And I really just didn't care about it this time through. It's funny, but at the same time, it's a kind of humor that doesn't treat you like you're intelligent enough to understand the joke without them kind of giving you a play-by-play on it. But if you're a fan of stupid humor, like not so much like dick and fart humor, but more just like stupid punny. If you're a fan of punny, then I think you'll like it. If you're a fan of Mel Brooks, it's not his best work. Blazing Saddles and Robin Hood Men in Tights are so much better, but it's not a bad movie. It's funny, it's quirky. And even though this time around I didn't find myself liking it as much as I thought that I would, it's definitely one of my top movies just because it's so sentimental, so I might be a little bit biased on saying that I liked this film. I feel a little bit stupider after having watched it, but if you're in a stupid mood, or if you're with a bunch of friends, or are high off your rocker, then I'm sure you'll like this movie. You know, for all of the like really stupid that's thrown in, some of the jokes are really clever. Like, for the time period that it was the most innovative thinking. Mel Brooks had a talent that was so out of his own time that today it seems a little bit slow-paced, but if you were to think about how this film was when it first came out, then I guess you'll understand why it is the way it is. So the like dumbing down of all the jokes is kind of just a way that it got started. So yeah, recommend it to people who like funny movies that aren't necessarily like your typical comedy. Like, it's a parody, it's a comedy branch all its own. You can't go into it expecting like side-splitting jokes. You'll get a chuckle, and you know, parodies are my favorite type of comedy. So again, I might just be the slightest bit biased, but I'm pretty sure that you'll come out of it liking it, whether you are a smart humor versus a slapstick humor. It's just a funny movie that you can't take too seriously, because if you do, you'll end up really disappointed and probably won't get past the first 15 minutes of it.